Good morning, everyone, and a blessed Saturday morning. As I look out my window, it's a bright Saturday morning, and I hope wherever you are tuning in from this morning, it's just as bright and sunny where you are. Welcome back to another episode of Catholics at Home. I was just before the show, just looking at how many shows have we done since we began during the lockdown. This is show number 129. Wow, when Kevin, Mark, and I sat down to plan this, never did we think that we will reach or even cross the 100th episode, given that all the other things that are happening in our lives. We are so grateful to God for this opportunity to reach out to so many different people in this little platform that we have established. And in some ways, it's so consoling and it's so wonderful to be able to have this platform to reach out to a wide audience, not just within the diocese, within the country. We have also gone international in so many different ways. And sometimes it's so heartwarming when I meet people and say, "Oh, Father, we follow you on Catholics at Home," and we are so grateful that we have this platform to be able to reach out. So in some ways, it has been a great blessing to be able to use the online platform. Though during the pandemic, going online was such a chore for a lot of people. It was like kind of a digital fatigue that we all went through. But in this time, it is, as I look back and I see how such a blessing it has been to be able to reach out. So I just want to ask you in the comment section, do put a word or two to just let us know how Catholics at Home has made an impact on your Saturday morning in some ways. During the time when we took a short break, about a 4-month break, to kind of regroup and reorganize ourselves. Many people kept asking, when are you coming on? When are you coming back? I said, yeah, we're all regrouping. We are starting again in the new year. And here we are again in the year 2023. And it was nice to know that people looked forward. So we just want to hear how has Catholics at Home made an impact on your Saturday morning? Is it something that you look forward to? Is it something that you would like to see a lot more of this, different topics? And what are the topics? And I'm sure we will try as much as possible to bring this to you. Just to greet some people this morning who are already here. As always, Helen, good morning to you, Helen. Good morning, Pam, Philomena, Linda. These are all our regulars who come in every morning. Stanley, good morning, Stanley, wherever you are watching us from. And to all the others who follow us regularly, good morning and a blessed Saturday morning to all of you. And I'm sure all these greetings go out to all the other people who are tuning into this morning. And it's a little community that we have created, a community of Catholics at Home, virtually online, people who meet and greet us. So thank you very much. Continue to support us. Continue to drop in some comments as we progress with the show this morning. So, as you know, one of the things that we do this year is that to take the audience to different parts, to different churches, because we always say the church is Catholic, the church is universal, but it is also particular in different locations. And sometimes when you begin to travel, you realize that the churches are so unique, so different. So we have visited different places. We have gone to Mongolia, and a lot of people enjoyed it in the sense that they say, "Oh, so it's an eye opener." So this morning we are flying again. Okay, so if you have not gotten your cup of coffee, quickly grab your cup of coffee and come back. And we are going to fly to Kyrgyzstan. Now, you may have heard this country, you may not have heard, but this morning we want to take all of us to Kyrgyzstan, and to know a little bit about the life of the country, the life of the church, and hopefully it unites us in a spirit of prayer and also in this fraternity to build the church. So this morning, as we had advertised, we were hoping to have Fr Anthony Cocoran, the Apostolic Administrator to Kyrgyzstan. But unfortunately, he was traveling and he got stranded in Istanbul. Let's say a prayer for him that he would have a safe journey back. But he made sure that somebody else would come on the show to speak on his behalf and also for the church in Kyrgyzstan. So we are grateful to him for having arranged this. So this morning, we have Father Remigius Kaluski, the director, the executive director of Caritas in Kyrgyzstan. He's also the superior of the Jesuit community in Kyrgyzstan. So let's welcome Father Remy, in short, to our podcast.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. Good morning, Father Remy, and welcome to Catholics at Home. Thank you very much for stepping in the last minute. Father Anthony sent me a message last night, and I woke up this morning. I got a shock to say that he was still in Istanbul, stranded. But you know, he has found someone to step in, and he said you'll be equally entertaining, or if not even more entertaining than himself. And we are glad that you are able to step in this morning, Father. Thank you very much for taking time to be with us.
Thank you. I am honored, and surely our life is full of adventure always. So we never know, but with trust in God, we go forward.
Yeah, so this is the first time I'm meeting you, Father. And this short conversation that we had earlier just now, you told me you were born in Poland and you have served in different places. Tell us a little bit about yourself and the mission that you have been involved in, and how did you end up? I mean, I don't want to sound in a bad way, but how did you come to Kyrgyzstan to serve over 14 years now?
Maybe I will start about the mission in Kyrgyzstan because it is a crucial thing. So after the collapse of Soviet Union, different countries in Central Asia, because Kyrgyzstan is really far away from Malaysia also, but from some point of view, it is a Central Asia, and in the center of Central Asia is Kyrgyzstan. In Central Asia are also Tajikistan, Uzbekistan, Turkmenistan, Kazakhstan, and this was a republic connected with Soviet Union. And after the collapse of Soviet Union, these countries were, we can say, maybe not very in good words, divided among the different orders. John Paul II asked, for example, missionaries of Incarnate Word to take care of Tajikistan. Franciscans order was asked to take care of Uzbekistan, and the Jesuits order was asked to take care about Kyrgyzstan. So it is papal mission connected with, started when the Soviet Union collapsed and Kyrgyzstan started to be independent in 1991. And the number of Catholics really is not big. In Kyrgyzstan, it is a 90% Muslim country, so you know the situation very well. Muslims are here not very radical, but it is a Muslim country. About 10% it is Christians, mainly Russian Orthodox, because really this region is connected with Russian Federation and many Russian people live here, and many of them are believers, Christians, and connected with Russian Orthodox Church. And Catholics number is really extremely small. Maybe 1,000 people can define themselves as a Catholics, but we have 7 parishes in different places in the Kyrgyzstan.
So, Father, before we get into the life of the church, just tell us. Okay. I mean, some people are asking, tell us a little bit about Kyrgyzstan as a country. I mean, in terms of the demography, you told us about the religious demography. Economically, tell us a little bit of the country. How does the country, economically, what do people do, and what's the life like in Kyrgyzstan in general?
In general. So when we see Kyrgyzstan, we see mountains and rivers and lakes. It is a really country connected with beauty of nature. So we can think about the creator who really created so magnificent countryside. It is my humble person on the camp of youth camp. Many years ago, about 10 years ago. And it is we have baptisms from time to time. So our community here in Bishkek, it is a community in Bishkek, is quite small. It is also from a picture from the youth camp, winter youth camp. Winter are quite strong, but not very long. It is our community in also my humble person about 12 years ago in the city of Jalalabad. It is on the south. Fr Anthony Cocoran during the confirmation for teenagers about 3 years ago. So it is a live community. We organize. Now I'm talking about the activity. I go back.
Yeah, just before we go into the activities further.
So
we have some pictures. You have some pictures, and we will walk through the pictures in a short while. I just want to know a little bit about how did Christianity arrive in Kyrgyzstan? You say there are only about 1,000 Catholics, and the rest are Russian Orthodox. In that sense, in which century, or who were the first bearers of the gospel to Kyrgyzstan?
So this story is very rich, I can say, but not very well known. And in the Central Asia, the missionaries started to appear in the 3rd century, and we have some church structure well known already from the 3rd century in Turkmenistan. And it was near the Persia Empire, former of course, and it was a bishop in the 3rd century. On the territory of Kyrgyzstan, we have some remains of churches from 9th century. It's because it was a silky way to the China, a quite good route for buying and selling goods, and it was some cities, not big, about 40,000 people, 50,000 people knows. For this time it was it was big cities, and in these cities we have a remains of churches, Buddhist temple. So the life in the city was rather calm among these different believers. But the main activity of Catholic Church was connected with Kazakhstan, and we had a Franciscan monasteries not far away from the Kyrgyzstan, former Kyrgyzstan, in Kazakhstan, but they were martyred during the Mongol Empire in 13th centuries. These Franciscans in Almaty, in Kazakhstan, near the Almaty.
So you say that already in the 3rd century, there were already Christians coming to. From your own understanding, what was the reason? How come you say there are only 1,000 Catholics? What were the restrictions that prevented the church from growing over that number of centuries? So,
for example, just coming back shortly for history, in Paris, not but in Louvre, but in Paris National Museum, we have a map. It is called Catalonian map of Central Asia. This map is from 1385, and on this map it is Lake Isyk, which is in the Kyrgyzstan. It is very big mountain lake, 200 kilometers long, and it is said on this map that on the shore of the lake is monastery of Christian brothers from Armenia. So surely we had in 14th century even a monastery. now we don't exactly know in which place, because really it was destroyed. And the plague, it is one thing, started in the 14th century, and also in Europe, many people died, but also here. And in fact, historians are saying that the plague started on the territory of Kyrgyzstan. So from some point of view, we are famous. And it is one reason. The second reason is, of course, Muslims who came here and controlled everything, and church life disappeared. In 19th century, Kyrgyz people were in danger of China, and formally asked Russian King Tsar to help them, to protect them. And Kyrgyz delegation came to St. Petersburg at this time and asked Tsar to send here to the Kyrgyzstan Russian troops. And he sent soldiers, and they organized military bases here in Kyrgyzstan. And it was a protection from the China. And but it was agreement between Kyrgyz tribes and Tsar that they don't, Russian troops that don't do an evangelization. So Russians will be Orthodox, Kyrgyz will be Muslim. Nobody will try to do something on the religious field. And generally, Russian Orthodox Church didn't evangelize Kyrgyz people. So formally they were Muslim, but according to the local tradition, not very strict from the Quran. And in the beginning of 20th century, many people were coming here to the Kyrgyzstan to work. Some of them were former prisoners from Siberia who were released after, and some of them were Catholics. So we have a testimony that in one of city in Kyrgyzstan, in the city of Osh, it was a church in the beginning of 20th century.
So the church is quite recent in the sense that the effective, in terms of quite recent history, that is beginning to grow. But today, I'm just trying to see, in terms of missionaries, religious priests, today, how many do you have now in Kyrgyzstan in total for a small Catholic population of 1,000 people?
So the population of Catholics is not growing very quick, but the number of priests is growing quite well, because in the 19th of 20th century, it was only one priest, Father Nicholas Mesmer. After 3-4 years, it was a second priest, and now we are eight priests. So it is
in the whole of Kyrgyzstan, just eight priests.
Eight priests in the whole of Kyrgyzstan, and now we have also even 3 religious order, sisters order. About 20 years ago arrived Franciscans from Slovakia. 1 year ago arrived Sister of Consolata from East Italy, and 2 months ago arrived Missionaries of Charity, Mother of Teresa of Calcutta. So we are very happy. So we are growing, and of course they do a lot and pray a lot. So it has a input for our religious life.
What kind of ministry are you all involved in, Father, in Kyrgyzstan?
So
the different
generally
priests?
we are working on the 3 direction. One is parish field, second is education, and the third one is charity. Coming back to the situation, statistical situation of Kyrgyzstan, it is 6 million people. Mainly they are farmers and shepherds. So the life is very simple and ordinary, but nobody is hungry. So it is not poverty, big poverty, because generally people have potatoes and cows and lambs, and nobody is dying from the hunger really. And it is a plenty of water and nice countryside, like I said. So it is very simple life, but people are alive. And many young people are dreaming about the Western style life and are going for work, of course, for money, mainly to the Russia. So it is 6 million people, inhabitants in Kyrgyzstan, but about 1 million is abroad, just working mainly in Russia.
Okay.
And also they work on the.
So you talk about the young people going away to work and all that. Now, I remember talking to Father Anthony, and he shared a little bit earlier in one of our meetings, who kept the faith alive. So he said the missionaries came much later, and he used the word the babushkas. The babushkas kept the faith alive. I think babushkas simply means the grandmother of the community. Yeah.
The story is also.
Tell us a little bit about the funny stories of the babushkas kept the faith alive. I was very intrigued with that story that he used to tell.
That's true. And the fact is this, that when Stalin and Hitler started to have a war in 1941, about 800,000 of German people lived on the territory of Soviet Union, because it was a dependent Republic of Germany established by Queen Ekaterina in the end of 18th century. And when the war started, Stalin made a decision to move this 800,000 of German to the mainly Central Asia. And they were moved to the Kazakhstan mainly. And they worked hard in the mines, and of course, generally it was no priests. Priests were in prison. But religious life, because big of them were Catholics, big number, they practice religious life, and really life was kept by babushka. It means the ladies who knows life quite well, because they suffered a lot, and husband was very often in prison or killed. So really they took care of family, also religious. And mainly priests in the Central Asia are from these families. And here in Kyrgyzstan, we have two priests from Karaganda, Father Josef Schmidlein and Father Alexander Khan, who were born in Karaganda. It is in Kazakhstan. And they are from these families. And also vocation and Christian life were connected with the faith of their mother. And it was very common and very strong. So church existed because of the faith of these ladies, these babushkas, these grandmothers.
So this is what I think Father Anthony would always say very funnily, in the sense that they were like the priests. They would do everything. And when missionaries came and they didn't know the language and they didn't know what to do, they would take over and they would do many things. So it is they who kept that faith alive. It's interesting, in the absence of priests and religious. And
they were church leaders. It was lack of men at this time, but really they were very strong ladies, and they know that they should keep religion alive, because atheism is not a choice. It's a crazy system, and
so
nobody liked atheism.
They were like the catechists of the community.
Of course, they organized
even without the formal training. They taught the faith, and people would look up to them. I believe people would look towards them for many things. Father Remy, we have some pictures that we have received. We want to just go through some pictures. Give us a short description of each picture. So this is a collection of pictures about the life of the church in Kyrgyzstan. Walk us through, Father, with some of these pictures. So if you have our pictures ready, just tell us a little bit of what's happening. You'll see Father Anthony in many of the pictures. Unfortunately, he sent it to us. So tell us of what's happening.
I don't know what pictures will be, because
so it'll be a surprise.
But I know the situation.
Yeah. So it gives our viewers a little window into the life of the church in Kyrgyzstan. So if
With pleasure.
If we have our pictures, can we see the pictures, please?
So it is a map of Kyrgyzstan. So it is a mountain country. The border is with China, Tajikistan, Uzbekistan, and Kazakhstan. And we have a very big lake, mountain lake, Issyk-Kul. We have, as a Catholic Church, has on the shore of this lake, rehabilitation center. We organize a really big number of camps for children with special needs, really. So it is a map of Central Asia in general. So in Asia, except of Malaysia, of course, but it's a Central Asia, and in Central Asia is Kyrgyzstan, like I said. In the center of Kyrgyzstan is Bishkek and our parish. But the biggest country is Kazakhstan, and the richer because they have oil, and many people from Kyrgyzstan are going to Kazakhstan for work. But Kyrgyzstan is rural country, and this is a state, is secular state. No, the number of Muslim people is 90%. And just maybe as a joke, but no, it is also part of our life. A few years ago in Parliament was a discussion about changing free day from Sunday to Friday. That Friday should be free day. And it was a vote in Parliament. In Parliament it is 96 members, and it was one vote more that for not changing this, and Muslim community excommunicated these men these people who voted for not changing, and it was big discussion about this relation between state and religion, because it was an order from Muslim community to vote for changing. But of course, finally it didn't happen. And our church is a small church, but people are coming. It is a baptism of not newborn children, but children from different countries are coming here.
Do you have many baptisms in a year?
No, about 20. We can say. So it is not many, but we have some. Just as a statistics, for example, the average age of people in Poland is 42. Average age of people in Italy is 46, but average age of people in Kyrgyzstan is 25. So it is a big number of young people. Generally, the society is very number, and family is quite big number of children. The statistics about education is this, that, for example, in Bishkek, it is 100,000 of children in school age, but it is only 40,000 places in school. So it is a lack of school, because it's very big number of children. It is a baptism. In Kyrgyzstan, in Bishkek, it's also one American university. It is a professor from American in the center, Mr. Andrew. I prepared him to the baptism, and he was baptized as adult. So it also happened.
Earlier we had a picture of the outdoor mass. I was just going to come back to that. Is this something that happens regularly outdoor in the mountains? The priests celebrate the mass in the community?
Yeah, we have also teenagers, and during the summer we organize camps, and our main activity is really these camps during the summer, and different kind of camps, and also for teenagers. And during these camps we organize some tours. We are going through the mountains 2-3 days, and during this walk we have also religious activity. It means beauty of nature is talking good sermon about the Creator, but also we are talking about the revelation, and
so this is one of the youth camps. You see them playing in the snow.
So summer here is not very long, 2 months, but it is quite a good number of snow.
Is this Is this summer?
Sorry, winter.
This winter. All right.
It is
Okay.
good. You keep
This was
watch.
summer. If
Mother,
this was
it is
summer,
good.
I don't want to imagine what winter is like.
No, it is not so bad in Kyrgyzstan. It is not so bad that summer looks like this. No, it is
Sure.
really winter, and
All right.
summer is hot. I think that's similar like in Malaysia.
Ah, all right.
So
So this
it is our parishioner is in a small city, Jalalabad on the south. Also,
is that
it
you?
is
Is that you having a watermelon?
yeah,
Right.
it's me about 12 years ago. 12 years ago, I eat a lot, especially watermelons. So I'm true priest.
Ah,
So, and it is a confirmation for teenagers in Bishkek. Father Anthony is on the as a main celebrant. Also, I am a parish priest here in Bishkek in a cathedral, and no, it is me. During the summer, we organize quite big number of camps, also for, in fact, mainly for students and teenagers who are Muslim, and our quite good project is connected with astronomy because Kyrgyzstan is good place for astronomy investigation on the basic level. And about 10 years, already 7 years, we organized camps, summer camps for astronomy, and we invited teenagers from the school, and it is united with the Kyrgyz Minister of Education. And officially, we don't talk about God and about Christianity, but everybody knows that priests are organizing this camp, and it is connection faith and reason. It is we have a center of faith and reason based on the encyclic of John Paul II, Fides et Ratio, and we try to show that Catholic Church supports science and like science, and God is creator and created things, biology.
Is this a church in?
This is our cathedral. This is our
Oh.
cathedral in Bishkek. 50 years ago, this church was established, bought by German Catholics who were there, and so far we have this capital in Bishkek only this one place, and it is the reason that we are thinking about the construction of new church in the center, because in the suburb, Catholics, after many years of asking, received permission 50 years ago to open a prayer house in the suburb of Bishkek, and it was this church.
Is this the city? Is this a picture of the city?
Yeah, this is a city of others. This is city of Osh. So the second city of Kyrgyzstan, it is Osh. According to the local tradition, King Solomon was there. And from some point of view, that is also a funny story, Kyrgyzstan is a holy land, because in Jalalabad it is a prophet Yov, according to local tradition, lived. In Osh, King Solomon, so we have a quite good number. But in the of saint people, people are thinking, no, it is everybody knows that it is rather a legend.
So this is this must be a Christmas time, I guess.
Yes, it is. We try to keep good customs connected with Christmas, and children like this, and in each our chapel and chapel, and we have this.
So this is a young child being moved by the whole crib, the creche.
Yeah, it's the crib. It is always impressive. It is really a rich story to think about the Christmas, because people are.
What is this? Tell us a little bit. What is this? We saw this picture.
Yes, I can explain. So, Father Anthony decided about 3 years ago to start preparation for construct new church, cathedral in the center of Bishkek, and we did it with help of Catholics from different parts of world, and it is a cornerstone. In fact, it is a stone in the middle of this, and it is stone from Capernaum. officially it is a
Oh,
stone from Capernaum, and it was blessed, this cornerstone of New Cathedral, by Pope Francis,
oh,
who
all right.
was in Kazakhstan. It is not in Kyrgyzstan, but in Kazakhstan in September 22. He visited Kazakhstan, and we had a meeting with him, and he blessed this cornerstone and this idea of construction of a new church in the capital of
I think we have a picture of the new the proposed new cathedral. I think we will come to it in a
yeah,
short while. So this stone is going to be part of that structure.
yes, no, it is a cornerstone. It means it is symbolic, but it is connected with Capernaum, straight from Capernaum arrived, and no, Holy
So
Land, and
let's see.
surely the place is
Wow.
connected with the life of our Savior.
Let's see.
So
We can get a picture of the new church, of the upcoming new church. Just
so the works already started to construct. It is a big bureaucracy, like everywhere, but here is really big, and also the Kyrgyzstan is connected with bribes, and it is really bad things. But what we can do?
so
It
this
is
is the
a
new
picture. Yeah, it is a no. It is a idea of a new church. The it will be under protection of Good Shepherd Catholic Church, because no, to be a shepherd is something for in Kyrgyz culture, because generally they are shepherds. And Good Shepherd, we think that it is a good name for church here. No,
So
so
this
it
is
won't
not
be very big, but just middle size church. And
so this is in the process of being constructed, or at least you
yes,
will
yes,
start
yes,
constructing this very soon. And
yes.
it's nice. It's so symbolic that you say that it's going to be named as the Cathedral of the Good Shepherd, simply because reflecting the life of the people. Many of them
Yeah,
who are shepherds there, and the kind of a connection that they have with this cathedral. And this would be completed by, I think, 2025, if I remember, something like that. That Father Anthony was
no, we
saying.
hope, of course, we hope
Even-
even 25, maybe at the end 24, but no, life is going slowly, but surely. So it is hopefully in 25, even 24. So
Father,
it
just
is a
coming to the challenges being in Kyrgyzstan. I mean, what are some of the challenges for the church i- in terms of its mission? I mean, if you are asked what are the two main challenges that you all faced in with regard to your mission in Kyrgyzstan?
so one of biggest difficulty is this, that state tried to control church life, not maybe very strong, but especially the life of missionaries. And we, Father Anthony, me, the other priest, only Father Alexander Khan has a Kyrgyz passport, are foreigners, and we need to have a permission for missionary activity. And of course, it is some kind of play, and Commission of Religious Affairs don't give us this permission. We should going, coming, asking, and finally they are giving us. And really, we don't know never if our permission will be stopped or we will received. And it is important because, for example, I am a parish priest, and next week they can say, no, your permission is delayed
Oh,
because of something really. Some it might police can come and say, oh, the lamps are here in the church are not according the standards, and it is a very serious crime, and it is this kind of danger. So we don't know, we are not sure about the future, mainly connected with us as a priest and sisters. But so far we exist, and we have hope that everything will be okay. Yes.
So it's like
This
almost
is the main danger. But the other thing is just ordinary. It is some secularization are coming from the Western countries, and people are watching TV movies on which priests are crazy. Oh, they are sometimes crazy, but not always. And generally, so. But it is like in Europe, in the other countries, the culture is started to be strong against the Christianity at all. So, but it is just not a Kyrgyz thing. It's just everywhere, I think so.
Do you have young people coming to church, or is it mostly the elderly only? Are the young people looking for a spiritual God experience?
Young people, yeah, the young people are coming, and also some Kyrgyz people are coming because they're interested. Of course, how I said, it is a big number of young people. So about now for today, we can say that about 10 young people are Kyrgyz people are coming and asking. So it is not a big number in Bishkek, but it is something, and it is really something that 10 young people Kyrgyz people are preparing for baptism, and it is it should be 10,000, but so far it's only 10.
Yeah,
so they are asking, but not very big numbers, but it is some move to looking for spirituality, and really they're interested in church life, about the salvation, and they think they are looking for a truth, and it is really.
So as we once again, to all our viewers who have just joined in, we are speaking to Father Remy, based in Kyrgyzstan this morning, kind of telling us a little bit about the life and mission of the church in Kyrgyzstan. So if you have any questions that you want to address, or you want Father Remy to answer or to give you an insight, you can post them in the comment section, and we'll try and take some questions in this little brief conversation, just to open our eyes to different realities. Father, there's a question that's being asked, with regard to the Ukraine war. Has that affected the life in Kyrgyzstan?
So of course the Ukraine war is this crazy thing and very bad, but it is very strange to say, for Kyrgyzstan it is connected with some progress, because business which was connected with Russia moved to the Kyrgyzstan. So and many people, about more than 1 million people, young people, escaped from Russia, mainly men, not to join the army, because they want to join the army and to participate in this crazy war. And many of them are in Kyrgyzstan, and they are quite smart, educated, and some of them are Catholics. So they are going to our parish. Some of them, of course, not many. And so it is even church life started to be more active, because these Russian Catholics are quite solid Catholics, because to be a Catholic in Russia is also not easy. So they are now they are live with their families in Bishkek in Kyrgyzstan, and so of course this war is crazy, and but for Kyrgyzstan it is not very bad impact. This is also a political issue, that Kyrgyzstan is also afraid as a country of Russian invasion, and now they try to not keep very good relation with Russia. They prefer Europe, and Kyrgyz language started to be more shown, and everything is in Kyrgyz language. So far, it was mainly in Russian language. So it is a official change in policy of Kyrgyz government, that they try to keep their own tradition. They are saying, we are Kyrgyz nation, we are not under protection of Russia anymore. So it is a political issue. So it is some kind of impact, because they are afraid that Russia's thinking about the big empire and colonialism will be going on. And so,
Father Remy, you are the executive director of Caritas and
Yes.
Caritas does a lot of social work. What are some of the social challenges that you face in? I mean, just thinking like, it's like, what kind of social upliftment that you are working on to help the people?
Yeah, so mainly, maybe it will be strange for Caritas, but our main direction of action in Kyrgyzstan is education. And we
Education.
have, yeah, so education. And we have two educational centers which prepare teenagers for exams free of charge to the universities in biology, chemistry, mathematics, because no, we hire good teachers from university and we organize these courses, and no, it is kind of our activity. Also, these astronomical courses and camps. I was talking about this. So it is one thing. The second thing is camps for children with special needs, because also medical care here is poor. Really, it is very bad treatment, and so it is no, a big number of children with special needs, and no, we can't do a lot, but we organize holidays for them, and about 1,000 children during the summer are in our center, rehabilitation center, have a holiday. So we invite volunteers from different countries, and they help us a lot. And our teenagers help in these camps.
That's amazing. I mean, education is part of the important aspect of the ministry of the church. Are you planning to extend that? You have two centers. Is it in the pipeline to establish more of this kind of educational centers, camps throughout the country?
Yeah, it is one thing to establish more, but we are thinking about the opening a Catholic school, and now it is talks about this. And we visited Minister of Education, and he give green light. But it is also not easy. But we are going forward. So far, it is on the idea level, but very soon it will be on this decision level, and I hope. And now we are preparing ourselves as a Catholic Church to open a school in Bishkek, because firstly it is a need. As I said, it is a lack of school, and now it is also a good place for evangelization, more or less. Maybe not easy, but we are sure that it is a need. So we try to open a school. So, and also we will keep these educational centers, but educational center is not very serious things. It is something, but it is after 1 month we can it may disappear. It is not. But school, it is something solid, and we are thinking about the school.
Father Remy, just going back to earlier when we started off this conversation, and you told me that you're from Poland, and you worked in the generalate in Poland, and then you had worked among the Polish community in London too,
Yes.
and now you are in Kyrgyzstan. And one of the reasons why we have these conversations with different churches, in part also to expose our people, what can we learn from emerging churches, growing churches? And I'm sure you have worked in a very cosmopolitan London, among different communities. You have worked in Poland. I'm just curious to ask, what do you think that the universal church can learn from the church in Kyrgyzstan, even though it's just 1,000 people? What is it that we can learn and you appreciate compared to having served in so many other places? What
Yes.
lessons can we learn from the people there?
So it is my, of course, private opinion, but people in the former Soviet countries are fed up of, I can say it is maybe sounds politically, but fed up of socialism and communism, and really they know that it is not a good idea, and they are thinking about really don't believe in the this kind of solution and paradise like socialism or communism, and they are looking for something deep. So they are looking for a God and for Christianity. In Europe, people are thinking that maybe socialism is a good idea, so it is a strange. But here not. In the former socialistic country, they are sure that it is not a good idea because it doesn't work. It doesn't work. And it is one thing which we can learn, that really true of gospel and social teaching of the church is the best solution, really, because they know that the other solution without God doesn't work, really, and it is collapse and poverty and wars and everything. So it is.
So it's nice to know that there is a thirst, that they're looking for God. I mean, we could talk about political systems on another show, and we have so many different ways of thinking. But the interesting thing is they are looking for God. That compared to Western Europe, as you said,
they are looking. Yeah, that I can say that this is different, because atheism in Europe is really strong, especially on universities, and here people are normal, we can say. They are not influenced by the sect. I thought that is maybe not a good word, but sect of atheism, but they are just thinking, and they are thinking about the creator. Of course, in Kyrgyzstan, the beauty of nature help us to think about the creator.
That's amazing. That's an amazing expression of how nature helps us remember, especially when you live in very urbanized society. There's very little of nature. All you see is a concrete jungle. You see high-rise buildings, and we forget the beauty of nature and how God speaks to nature. And I think that's an amazing reminder to each one of us. Father Remy, on a personal note, you have served in Kyrgyzstan. You said 14 years now. Leaving aside all if it's okay, for yourself personally, what is it like being a missionary, in this place? Small, sometimes we are so driven that we want to see success. We want to see, a lot of activities happening. But you're a missionary in a small church. How does that kind of empower your own priestly ministry for yourself? And not to add in extreme weathers that you have there.
Yeah, really, it is something important you are talking about, because it is a danger of also temptation of frustration, that we are here and not a big success, we can say, just ordinary life day by day. So frustration, it is a danger, and it is not easy thing. It is a big temptation, but with help of also the knowledge that Catholics all over the world are with us, we are together, so we are not so lonely and we are not so small. It helps. Thank you.
So that's where you find the consolation of knowing
also,
that you belong to a larger community of church. Even though you are small, you belong to a bigger, a universal church that supports you, that strengthens you. Maybe not physically, but at least spiritually, we are united together to pray for one another. And I think that's amazing. Father Anthony, Father Remy, we have come to the end of our conversation. Thank you so much for taking time on this morning. It's very early for you. We are 2 hours ahead of you, which means it must be 9:25. Hopefully, you've had your breakfast already, and you're going to start your Saturday morning. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Are there any final words that you'd like to share with our viewers this morning before we sign off?
I'm very honored, and I'm full of thankfulness. Sorry for my English, because we speak Russian here.
No worries, Father.
So I'm honored. Also, Father Clarence, I am not sorry, but I have a morning mass in a few minutes, so I will pray for you. This is the most important thing during this mass, and that's all.
We assure you, as we journey in the season of Lent, that we will keep you in prayer, and your church, and also the plans of growing the church in ministry and also in the fields of education, that you'll be able. Hopefully someday I get to visit you in Kyrgyzstan, both you and Father Anthony.
Most welcome. Oh, most welcome.
But definitely not in winter. Definitely not in winter. It will have to be in the summer, and hopefully to have a last question, Father. I always ask this question. You're Polish. You work in Kyrgyzstan. What's your favorite Kyrgyz food that you enjoy the most? You say you love food. It can't be watermelon. What's your favorite food?
In fact, in Kyrgyzstan, they eat a lot of potatoes, and they eat meat. And for Polish people, it is quite normal, quite Polish. So potatoes are popular. Look, of course, they have quite good local foods. All right.
So I shall look forward to coming to taste some local food when I visit both Anthony and yourself. Thank you very much, Father, for joining us this morning. And before we end, if I could ask you to say a short prayer, and as we conclude, pray for your country, pray for your mission, pray for us too also.
If you appreciate me, after prayer, I will go to the church.
Sure. Yes.
Mass.
You are free to say in whichever language you are comfortable with. Don't worry.
No,
prayer is universal.
Just because the most important thing always is the praise of the Holy Trinity. So,
sure.
Glory be to the Father, to the Son, and to the Holy Spirit,
as it was in the beginning, is now, and ever shall be, world without end. Amen.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Father, for joining us. Please convey our greetings to Father Anthony too, and we wish him a safe journey back to Kyrgyzstan. And to all our viewers, thank you very much for joining this morning for another interesting expedition to Kyrgyzstan, and we hope to continue this next month too, to visit another church. Do tune in, and we look forward to seeing you next Saturday, same time. I'm sure it's the same place too, which is in front of your screen. So until then, have a good weekend, everyone, and have a good season of Lent. God bless you all.
Thank you.